So for this week's top story, one of the limitations that POAP event creation has had for some time are the requirements that an event organizer must meet with their POAP art files. While this wasn't much of an issue for still image POAPs since you can use PNG file types, having an animated POAP needed much more finagling in order to work. The dominant file format of choice for small animations has been GIF file type files for some time, and honestly, as long as I can remember. But POAP did not allow for GIF file format to be used when uploading your POAP art image. You actually had to turn it into an APNG, which admittedly I didn't even know existed until I learned about POAP. I can tell you from a user experience standpoint, having to convert a GIF file into APNG was pretty frustrating. Thankfully, though, within the last 2 weeks that has changed because it is now possible to upload GIF files as POAP art, so yes. Now, as an event organizer, you can smoothly take your animation in the format that it's most likely already going to be in by default and just upload it as your POAP art file, as long as it's under 4 megabytes. From conversations that I've had with a few friends in various artist communities, plenty are excited about the quality of life improvement. In this past week on the POAP community call, we were discussing the sentiment around this update, and we started to talk about the pros and cons of animated POAPs. I have solidly been in the camp of pro-animated POAPs. However, Get POAP's business development lead Nick Sorokish, she had gave a perspective that I really hadn't thought about until it was pointed out to me. So I had asked her about Get POAP using animation in their art, and this is what she had to say, so let's go ahead and take a look at that.
Yeah, so Git POAP has discussed whether or not we want to do animated POAPs, and at this juncture, we're not doing it because the idea is a Git POAP gallery is going to be sort of your resume in like some respect, and we don't want it to be super distracting. Like I don't know if you guys have when I look at my POAP gallery, it's a degree of distracting because I have one that like is a dog like spinning around and I have to take that off of my screen whenever I'm doing anything because it's extremely distracting in the background or on the side.
Oh,
So
yeah.
talked about it and we're open to it, but right now we've decided to like hold off on doing anything animated.
So basically what she's saying here is this. Based on what a Git POAP is meant to represent, having animation in the artwork, it may be distracting or even detract from the quality of that POAP. So she had elaborated this by stating that Git POAPs are meant to be used in things like resumes, so having the distracting animations might detract from the resume and things within those lines. We continued on with the conversation, and Beacon Chain Health Consultant Superfizz, he had expressed his preference for the still image art. He had said that he cares more about the event than the gimmick in the POAP. And they were definitely on the other side of the coin, I guess you could say, from the few conversations that I have had about this. But here's what I have to say. So, I think it's great that POAP was able to finally allow for GIF format to come out. There's definitely going to be people who want to have animation within their artwork, but it does need to be tasteful. We're going to go a little bit later into being a responsible issuer, but a little bit of a sneak peek on that. One of the things is that you need to have good craftsmanship, and this really means like, hey, you want to make sure that this is being presented and represented appropriately. So, say you have something that you're going to put on a resume. Maybe you don't want it to be animated because it's going to be distracting. Or, maybe You've Met Me POAP. Maybe that's the perfect place to have an animation. Or even just some generic events in general. And the line that Superfist has said, where he had stated that he cares more about the event behind the POAP than the gimmick in the POAP art itself, that has really resonated with me because it's true. When I get a POAP from somewhere, I want it to be appropriate. I don't want it to be stupid or silly or just not make any sense with what's going on. So I definitely understand where he's coming from there. But I do think it's really exciting to see that GIF format is now available. There's been a lot of people who've been begging for it, these artists who have just been wanting it, because it has been annoying to change your GIF file to a PNG. Like I said earlier, I didn't even know that file existed until I was doing some POAP organization myself, but what do you guys think about this? Be sure to tell me down in the comment section below what your thoughts on how POAPs are now able to be in GIF format for event creation. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. Really appreciate you doing that for me. If you liked what you saw, maybe you should hit like. Maybe you should hit subscribe, who knows. If you want to see the full show that this segment came from, you want to click here now. Thanks so much for stopping by, everyone. This is Mr. Mojo, signing out.